Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? Yeah, a little different scenario here today, as you can tell. We're gonna be outside. We're gonna be outside. I need to know, number one, can you hear me? Because this is a whole different setup than what I'm normally used to. So, let me know. I can read the chat in this instance. So, nice green screen. No, not a green screen. It's an actual, I'm actually outside right now. My AC unit upstairs it went out yesterday. So it feels wonderful outside right now. It's a beautiful Texas day. And I figure we're going to start doing these, court streams that this would be a great place to start outside, just enjoying the time. My noise reducer's on, so it should be blocking out any of the cicadas in the background or anything. But how's everybody doing today? It's great to see you guys. We got a good video today. We got a Karen in court. I came across this yesterday, and I was like, oh, fuck. Gotta cover this one. What up, Shiz? Flat Dirt? Great to see you too. Llewellyn. I said Lulu. Let's see. We also have a few things. Hank's Corner gifted 1 membership. You absolute fucking legend. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Cynthia Merritt was complaining, I don't have any. I was a member. What happened? Yeah, you're a member again. Thank you, Cynthia. Love you. As well as she gifted 5 memberships, and that makes you an absolute fucking legend as well. And let's see. We have Chom36 is a new member. Thank you, Chom. And Paul Rumor Fraser. Hey, bro, team TTU. TTU, baby, that's for $1.99. I appreciate that. We may have a live stream tonight. We may or may not. Obviously, I'm doing these outside. You guys know how animated I like to get. And I want to talk about chili. Because I'll tell you like this. We'll elaborate later. But I want to challenge Chili to an IQ test. All right, Chili, me and you, one-on-one. You don't have to see me. I don't have to see you. You go take your IQ test. I go take mine. We'll take it at an agreed spot that does actual IQ testing, not some online shit. And I guarantee you I'll win. And we'll make a bet. Tonight, I'll put my terms of the challenge on the internet so that way everybody knows what I'm putting up against it. All right, Chili? And I'll challenge you. I'll tell you what I expect in return should I win. I guarantee you, first off, he will not take the challenge. He thinks he's smarter than me. It should be easy. He should just go, well, fuck it. I'll take the challenge. I'm way smarter. Same way I am. I know I'm fucking smarter than that dumb fuck. So I'm like, shit, let's do it. So anyway, we'll talk about that tonight. He would back out. Probably. Teresa Brewer for $2. I can't wait. £2. Same thing earlier. It's $1.99 in pounds. £1, 99 pence. But anyway, Rick, what up? Good to see you. Let's see who's in the chat. Misdemeanor said something earlier about, bringing up a BSBT video, which I do have a BSBT video, of him in court. So this live stream right here is just going to be a little court. We're going to do some court stuff. I have some really great videos, but I don't want to flood it on one day. So we may just do this one trial. It's a 49-minute trial with my commentary. We're looking at about an hour and a half. And then we'll talk about it at the end. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it play out. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you guys, we'll hold a vote, a chat vote on whether you think, who would you rule with? This is small claims. So we have, someone making the claim and someone defending against the claim. So we'll do that. The plaintiff, and I believe it'd probably be the plaintiff and the defendant. Correct me if I'm wrong out there in the chat, you law nerds. But it's crazy because I was watching this video. So let me tell you how I found this video. First off, I found a new way to record videos. It's insane. So you got a lot more shit coming your way. The hardest part about what I do. All right. So let's talk about, while we allow people to get in here, let me set up everything so you understand what's going on. So the hardest part about what I do is finding content. All right. It's hard because it's not just hard for me, but it's hard for you too. If you said, oh, I want to help you out, Skeptic, a lot of these places were these unknown videos, the ones that nobody else is covering. A lot of these places happen in courtrooms that shut their court down. The moment it shuts down, they delete the video. No longer on YouTube. So you have to be watching. You have to be watching. Well, if you're watching that one, how can you be watching this one over here? You can't. That's the easy answer. You can't. So I finally figured a way out to do all of these. Any video that goes live, I'm good. And I caught this video through that exact method. All right. So that's the lead up to this video. When I was watching this video, I was like, what? Okay, something ain't right. And I was listening to it. And then I also caught this other video out of Washington. Oh my God, this guy was like a piece of shit. But the judge is fucking soft. It frustrates me. So I didn't cover it because, like, seriously, I'm not trying. It frustrates me. Does it frustrate you? Okay, let's say I have a seriously rude and fucked up defendant, but you got a weak ass judge that just lets him be rude about it. Do you want to watch that so you can fucking yell at the judge too? I mean, I'll show it to you. Yes, but 1 for yes, 2 for no. All right. So anyway, let's see. Let's read off the rest of these super chats and then we'll get started with the video. All right. Let's see. We have Bob the Bomb, 199 pounds or euros. Aircon repair contribution. Oh, thank you. Air conditioner repair. Well, we have a home warranty, so it's all right. We'll get it fixed. It's not that big of a deal, but thank you. It did cost us a little money for a deductible, but we're not replacing the unit. So thank you. Paul Rumor Frazier for 199 pounds. Shove the trifold where the sun never shines chilly. That'll be tonight. Jefferson Spitchcock. I notice a lot of Team Skeptic's content comes from Michigan. I'm a resident and always surprised to see that. So that'll change a bit, Jefferson. The reason why that is because Michigan courts put a lot of their court stuff online. So think about this. All the content I cover, 90% of it comes out of one district in Michigan. One district. So now extrapolate that. All right. Now think it's in Detroit. So obviously there's a lot more of the craziness that comes out of a big city. But think about that. I'm not catching New York City. I'm not catching LA. I'm not catching Seattle. I'm not catching Dallas. Can you imagine the stupidity that goes on daily if what me and Law Talk with Mike and Old Squishy Garden, we catch these like individual cases, but think of what we're missing. This was, okay, the 2 that I have are 2 that you would have missed because these are courtrooms that pull their cases down immediately. Tukwila is the courtroom in Washington. And of course, like I said, it's a soft ass judge. And, I can't remember where this one comes from, but I can go find it. But anyway, without further ado, let's get this started. Like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to play the video. And then I'm going to be eating to start. So I'm not going to be on camera at first, but here we'll do, hold on, let me see. Hey, how's the quality? Is it smooth or is it choppy when I rock back and forth like this? On my screen, it's choppy. If it's smooth for you, that's good. But we're going to get started. Just type it in the chat. Here we go. This is okay. So let me set it up. This is a small claims. This is for an eviction. This person is wild. Okay, we're gonna have emotional support animals being brought up. We're gonna have contradicting fucking claims about disability being brought up. It's wild. Okay, it might start off kind of slow because there's always a setup towards the end, but thankfully, the Karen makes it entertaining throughout the entire time. So we'll stop it randomly, and then we'll break it down. We'll cover super chats and stuff like that. So let's begin.
Okay, so Mr. Morgan showed up.
I've been here.
Oh, well, I called your name, sir, and you didn't reply.
Yes, I did. You didn't hear me back.
Oh, I just didn't hear you.
Correctly.
Okay, so Mr. Morgan.
First off, I just want everybody to kind of know already. Can you see already what's happening? Can y'all see that there's already, he's like, no. I did it right. Y'all are wrong. So that's a theme. Okay. That's a theme throughout this video. I'm right. You're wrong. All right. Just so we set it up. So at first you might think, oh, okay, he's just interrupting to get it. No. Here we go.
You're either going to have to get off the phone and zoom in the photo. I see you're logged in twice, and you can't do that. You've got a feedback.
So I'm getting off the computer then because nothing's working correctly on the computer.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, record.
Right, good afternoon. This is file 5835 of 2023. Michelle and William DeRoyne versus Jeremy Morgan. And let's see. So can you hear me, Mr. and Mrs. DeRoyne?
Okay, watch out. Here he comes.
Yes, we
so you can see who our culprit is.
Okay, and Mr. Morgan, I don't see you on the screen.
All right, guys, pay close attention because that is our Mr. Morgan down there, who is an absolute fucking Karen. Okay, absolute Karen right down there. Now, watch what he does immediately because he's saying, "Oh, my equipment doesn't work. I can't join by video because I'm having problems and this and that." But you can see him very clearly, and then watch what he does. This is hilarious.
Screen, but can you hear me okay? It looks like you can hear me, but I cannot hear you.
My man put tape over put a piece of paper over the camera.
I don't know what happened. It appears Mr. Morgan blocked his screen.
I'm telling you guys, this is only the beginning, okay? This is only the beginning.
There it is.
Mr. Morgan, for some reason, I'm not able to hear you, even though you're unmuted. I'm going to suggest that you log out and then log back in and follow the audio instructions on your device.
All right, I'm gonna keep up with super chats today, so it doesn't get too far back. All right, I love that one though. That's Morgan, Big M, small organ. Love it, Hank. And I know I'm gonna miss a few, but I'm gonna come back to him. Catatonic 199 Team Skeptic is right, and we all love his channel. I love you too. I love you too. Let's keep going. I'll cover the rest of them here in a minute.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, I had to get off the computer for some reason. It's not connecting. I don't know why.
Okay, well, this should be just fine. I can hear you perfectly. So, first of all, have the parties resolved anything?
I attempted. I sent them emails. I tried to talk with them, and they have not responded to me since the court date at all.
Okay, well, it sounds like
I had made
Okay.
contact with Mr. Morgan. We served him a 7-day notice to quit within the last week for him not having paid rent this month. And at that time, I did attempt to make contact with him regarding a way to resolve this, but he said he was too busy and not able to communicate at that time.
Your Honor,
No, that's not true. The last time we spoke was on the 1st of June during the meeting, and you told me.
Morgan.
Full-blown Karen, guys. Full-blown Karen. Why? Throughout the thing, he's going to be constantly interrupting, okay? Constantly interrupting. So what do we tell him? We say, shut up, Karen. Let's go.
Just a minute. This is not a free-for-all. Please speak only after I've asked you to speak, okay? Or we're never going to get through this. All right. So it sounds as though there's been no connection as far as discussing this matter. Do you think there's any hope of resolving the case if the parties were to speak? I'm going to ask Mr. and Mrs. DeRoyne first.
Your Honor, very early on when we were made aware of the issues that were taking place on 851 North St. Joseph Street, we reached out to him by email to try and resolve the issue. We offered some options for him to try and correct the issue. He did not provide us any supporting documentation for the animals that he had brought into the situation, which was the lease violation. We offered him a chance to rehome the animals or provide documentation in addition to providing a pet deposit and some adjustments to the lease, and he was non-cooperative at that time and has since had other lease violations, which caused us to move forward. I do not think this can be resolved at this time. We have made some effort towards trying to resolve it.
Okay, so before the judge goes on to the next part, there's another thing that she just said that we really need to talk about, and that's his pets. Okay, so when you move into a place and it says no pets, right? It says no pets. You can't then bring pets in later and go, well, I have pets. And this guy has cats. Cats leave, believe me, I hate saying this, but as a fucking cat person, cats leave dander everywhere. It's horrible. It fucks your allergies up. Some people can't deal with it. So if a landlord says no animals, then that means no animals. Now this guy's gonna have an excuse, which the excuse might have flown if the provision was made before signing the lease. But keep in mind, after he goes through what he's about to say, this is all post signing the lease. After agreeing to no pets, he then does this.
Okay, so I think what we'll do then is we'll go ahead and conduct the hearing. And what that consists of is first I'll give the Deroyans a opportunity to present their proofs. I do have the exhibits that were submitted, and then Mr. Morgan, you will have an opportunity to cross-examine Mr. or Mrs. Deroyan if they choose to testify, and then you'll have a chance to present your side of the case, and then I'll ask both sides to present their arguments at the end, okay? As I understand it, the issues are late payment of rent, not giving the landlord access to the premises to make repairs, and the pet issue. So anyway, I'll call on you, Mr. Deroyan. Do you wish to present testimony yourself?
Yes.
Okay, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, so you put your hand down, and you are in fact the plaintiff, William Deroyan, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you enter into a lease agreement with the defendant, Jeremy Morgan, on or about October 18th of 2022 for a term from November 1st, 22 to October 31st, 23?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was for $1,400 a month for the apartment or home at 851 North St. Joseph Street in Sutton Lake.
Yes.
Mr. Morgan, it sounds like you on again.
Something's going on.
Yeah, if you could just be on one device. Okay, it sounds like it cleared up the problem. Are you still there, Mr. Morgan?
I know these parts are slow, but I'm going to let them play through.
Again,
I'll speed it up until it gets
even though I
to
can
testimony.
see you speaking.
I'm sorry, this is back on. I don't know what's going on with my computer.
Okay, thank you. And it sounds like the audio issues cleared up. So continuing with you, Mr. Deroyan. So the rent payment was $1,400 a month, and there was an agreement in the lease, $5 a day if late. Is that true?
Yes.
And it looks like $1,000 security deposit was taken at the time of the lease agreement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. From my review of your complaint, there were several months where Mr. Morgan paid the rent late. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Can you describe those late payments?
Yes. Rent was paid 23 days late in December of 2022. We are no longer able to accommodate, we just can't afford to not be receiving rent.
Were
Late.
there other months when the rent was paid late?
Yeah, in fact, we've only had 1 month, I believe, where the rent was paid on time. We did actually submit a 7-day notice to quit. It was served to Jeremy on 6/17 of this month. For we had not received a rent payment for June yet. And so if I'm not mistaken, this late payment in June is the fourth egregious late rent scenario beyond 2 weeks late, if I'm not mistaken, from our records. Again, this has been habitual and it's began to hurt us financially.
Did you ever receive the rent payment for June?
We did just receive it, but we did not get the late payment fee that was to be on top of that. We just received it. I typed up an email as of 6/27. We had not received it, but I believe we just received it 2 days ago. I just put it in the bank yesterday. I'm not sure if the check is cleared. That has been another issue, is that he has submitted payment previously, and then the checks had bounced. And so we have actually not gotten confirmation that that check has gone through yet. So I guess technically we've not officially received payment in our account.
All right. What was the date you received the check?
I believe it was the 28th.
All right. So have you ever collected any of the late fees that were requested or owed under the lease agreement?
Yes, as I understand, we had 1 month where he paid 20 some days late, and we did not ask or institute the late payment until the 10th or maybe even the 15th day. So we were trying to be accommodating and understanding, and we didn't institute the late payment on the 2nd, as the lease indicates. We were providing some grace period, and we didn't institute it until later. But we had received a late payment fee in December of 22.
All right. Did you also provide a notice to Mr. Morgan of violations of the lease agreement related to pets?
We did.
And can you describe that?
Yes, it was on, got the document here. It was on, hang on.
Okay. That's not what it's- that's not either.
Yeah, 1 moment. We're just looking through our files, but it was in the beginning of May. Jeremy informed Michelle that, quote, he got 2 new roommates. Michelle was wondering what he meant in regards to that. And he said that he got 2 cats. We said that the lease clearly states there's no pets allowed, and that we'd be back in touch. And that we don't approve of pets being there. So we did provide a 30-day notice to quit at the beginning of May. I believe it was May 5th, if I'm not mistaken. But that was, I believe, our 2nd or 3rd notice to quit. So at this time, I believe we've provided Jeremy 4 or so notice to quits over this lease period.
All right. There was also some information in your complaint alleging that you'd tried to make repairs at the request of Mr. Morgan on multiple occasions and were denied access. Can you describe that?
Yes. On 2 occasions, Jeremy has taken, I'm sorry, 1 moment. Michelle and I had contacted Jeremy to perform maintenance and repairs on the rental in response to his requests. In multiple instances, a date would be recommended by Michelle or I, and Jeremy had agreed to these specific date and times for these repairs. And then when the date would come, he had denied entry moments before it was scheduled to be performed. I'd offered to repair a light switch, a few other items in the house, and we've again remained cordial during this time, but just not been able to coordinate with contractors or to coordinate our time to be able to get over there, having been denied multiple times we scheduled ahead of time.
That's why I rely on you guys. And I read the chat. Especially when I'm in this setup right here where I don't have a million screens going on. I can just see 2 screens right here. Thank you for pointing out that I was muted. But what I was saying is, can you see the patterns developing here? Okay, can you see them? Like, there were no cats or no pets. And then he doesn't come forward. A normal person would come forward and say, hey, look, I'd like to get some pets. I know it says no pets in the lease agreement, but I'd like to get some pets. What do I need to do? Is it even possible? Do I pay a deposit? That's what you do, right? Not Karen. No. What Karen does is Karen goes and gets 2 cats and then says, oh, by the way, I have 2 roommates. You're going to have to deal with it. These are roommates. What do you mean roommates? Like a normal landlord doesn't hear the word roommates and think to themselves, oh, roommates. Okay. They must be talking about cats. No, a normal landlord sees it, hears that and says, 2 more people. Now we got to add 2 people to the contract, to the lease contract, to the rental agreement. So there's that. There's late payments. There's bounced checks they've mentioned. There's canceled appointments. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Karen. You can't say, fix this problem, and then when they schedule everybody to fix the problem, and you're going to see this Karen is got an excuse for everything, okay? Excuse for everything. So I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let Karen get through his excuses, but I'll let you be the deciding factor at the end. I'll tell you what the judge says. Oh, I'll tell you what the judge says, but I'll let you be the deciding factor in the end. All right. So here we go. I think he's about to start testifying now. All right. Hope you guys are having a good time. Are y'all enjoying this? I'm enjoying this. I'm having a good time. TTU, baby.
As far as you know, has the property been kept fit for the use intended and kept in reasonable repair during the term of the lease?
Yes, it has.
All right. So is there anything else you'd like to add yourself, Mr. Droyne?
Yes, I'd say on behalf of both Michelle and I'd like to also bring up that there was a parking violation that actually required the involvement of Leelanau County Dispatch. Jeremy had parked his car in a way that limited access to a shared driveway in which we share with 851, and he refused to move his car. And so actually Michelle called Leelanau County Dispatch, and Jeremy would not come out and move his car even with the police officer there. The police officer was required to move his vehicle. We see that as an aggressive action taken towards us. I'd also like to mention a second aggressive action that was taken against us that has we see to be quite hostile and retaliatory.
And when was that?
Yes, that was on the second occasion. Leelanau County Dispatch was called regarding Jeremy Morgan's aggressive behavior towards us was on 6/15 at 12:10 a.m. That is midnight. Michelle was woken from her sleep to Jeremy screaming profanity and throwing furniture towards our house. Michelle was scared to step outside to address Jeremy throwing this furniture, and dispatch was called to calm Jeremy and ask him not to throw furniture towards us, and to pick the furniture back up that he threw. And so we've been, that's been the second occasion in which dispatch has been called for aggressive behavior that Jeremy has shown towards us.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I forgot about that part. I forgot that they still hadn't testified to that part yet. That there was a parking incident, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love all of his excuses for why all these incidents occur. So we have a parking incident, as well as we now have a violent behavior. Okay, violent behavior and a parking incident that the police had to get involved with. So everything that's happened so far as lease violations go, now add on parking violations that required police involvement and violent behavior. There we go.
So again, there's the pet lease violation. He has had 2 pets since the beginning of May, which are still in the home. We have asked to not have pets in the house. The lease was based on him not having pets. Michelle happens to be allergic to pets. We just don't, or cats rather, we don't want cats in that house. And so really we see those 3 lease violations. There's the parking lease violation, there's the pet lease violation, and then of course the multiple late rent payment violations.
All right. So, Mr. Morgan, do you have any questions that you wish to ask Mr. DeRoyne?
No, but I'd like to talk.
Okay, so I'll give you an opportunity to speak. Before you do that, however, I want to call on Mrs. DeRoyne. Would you have testified similarly to your husband?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so then at this time, Mr. Morgan, if you could please raise your right hand and tell me when you've done so.
It's up.
Okay, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, you could put your hand down and.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, this is where your interactions come in, all right? Because I'm gonna let him do his whole thing, interrupting very infrequently. But I want you in the chat. I want you to pick out the contradictions and the bullshit arguments that he uses. Put them in the chat as you hear them, okay? As you hear them, as they come along, put them in the chat. Let's see you get it right.
You are, in fact, Jeremy Morgan, and you are the defendant case, and you are the current resident at 851 North St. Joseph Street in Suttons Bay, correct?
Yes.
All right, and Mr. Morgan, let's start with the late payment of rent. Are you contesting at all what Mr. DeRoyne testified to about your paying the rent late all but 1 month since December?
No, but I also made it very clear to both of them that this winter I contracted a very, very bad, severe viral bacterial infection in my lungs, and I could not work very much for 4 months. I could only work 1 or 2 days a month.
Who caught that?
Because I could not breathe. I had bronchial asthma. I let them know what was happening, and I told them that I would get the rent to them as soon as I could. And each month, I got the rent to them as soon as I could. As far as the late fees, that is a penalty. According to the Michigan state law, you are not allowed to charge a accruing penalty for a late fee. It's a one-time charge only. I agreed to pay a one-time charge, but I did not agree to pay a $5 late fee every single day because that is against Michigan state law. But as far as the rent is concerned, I always made sure that they knew it was going to be late, and I apologized for being late, and I told them I would get to them as soon as I could. As for the last rent check that I paid, that is a money order. So they have the money as soon as they pick up that check. They do not have to wait for the bank to clear it. They do not have to act as if it's going to bounce. One check bounced, yes, because I had a problem with work. The payroll system was changed from one company to another, I let them know that there would be a week delay, and they immediately gave me a notice to quit. Every time I told them that I would be late with the rent and gave them a reason why, I apologized for it, they gave me a notice to quit on the very first day. There is no late fee. There is no grace period. I mean, no, there's no grace period. The late fee starts as soon as the day the rent is due. I've talked to my attorney at Michigan Legal Aid, and he told me that what they're doing is charging me a penalty, which is against the law. As for the cats, I gave, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get ahead of myself.
I was just about to ask about the cats. So are you denying that you have pets in the residence?
Oh boy, here comes the cats.
I'm not denying it, and I also went up to Michelle on that day, and I told her that I got the cats because we had been discussing previously before. I had even mentioned that I thought about building a catio so they could go outside and get fresh air, but they told me that they did not want to have cats roam me the property because of their chickens that they have and the goats, and I let them.
I'm fucking muted. I set this up so that it comes on when I go, oh my God, wow. Okay, well see, I thought I had this set up so that when I go on screen, it unmutes, but I trusted technology too much and it didn't work. I do apologize. I was clowning him for having a landlord that didn't want cats, didn't want any pets. And he goes to him and says, I want to build a catio. I want to build a fucking catio. And he's wondering why they're like, no, and they're freaking out. No, you can't. We didn't want pets to begin with. And you're talking about building a fucking catio? No. My bad, guys. My bad. Here we go.
No, the cats would never go outside. And the reason I was getting the cats is because I'm a fresh air, but they told me that they did not want to have cats roam me the property because of their chickens that they have and the goats. And I let them know the cats would never go outside. And the reason I was getting the cats is because I have complex PTSD and I have a severe social anxiety disorder that keeps me sometimes from being able to do work or to interact with society. I got a letter from my doctor that says that they will help alleviate the symptoms of the disability. I even sent them a photocopy of it. I never heard back from them in regards to it. I am still in the process of trying to get another appointment with a doctor to get it further diagnosed as a full-on disability, but everyone is backed up for months, so I have to wait. But yes, I submitted them a letter on the 3rd of May, letting them know what these cats were for.
All right. So when the cats moved in, you did not have any doctors know that indicated that they were support animals, correct?
When I first moved in, I got the notice about a week after I got the cats.
About a week after you got the cats.
That's the only time I had let my physician know before I picked up the animals what was going on. When I went to Michelle and spoke to her about the cats, I said, yes, I have 2 new roommates. I let her know the names. And she asked me what the names were. I told her. And she said, well, it's always good for people to have companionship. She could not wait to meet them, she said. Then later that evening, Will came over, screaming at me from the door, telling me that I violated and was in violation of the lease, and that I had to be out on the 2nd of June. And if I was not out, he'd have a sheriff here to escort me out and a dumpster in front to throw away my property. He yelled at me on the front of the porch step that he gave me a letter stating that I was in violation, and he told me to get out.
Mr. Morgan, you agree the lease agreement that you signed provided for no pets, correct?
Yes, and after I moved in, I let them know that I was having issues with my mental stability, and it would be good if I could have the cats to help me out. And we talked about it. I would not have got these animals if they had told me outright no. The discussion was,
That's exactly what they did. In the lease agreement, it outright says no pets. No pets means no pets. If you need cats to help you with your disability or whatever, I'm sure it's self-diagnosed. If you need help with that, then go somewhere that accepts pets. I have animals. I had to find a place that accepted pets to move in. I didn't move in and go, I didn't sign the lease and go, oh, by the way, for my mental comfort, I have a cat that I love and a dog that I love that are coming with me. We're already in the lease and I can't do without them because it affects my mental health. Of course, it affects everybody's mental health. If you love your animal and you're separated from your animal, you're going to be fucking stressed the fuck out. So why can't I use that excuse? Because I agreed, if I moved into a place that had no pets, I agreed to live there with no pets. You see me look down right there? You see me look down? Double checking, baby. Double checking to make sure my mic was working. All right, let's go.
okay, we'll talk about it. We'll think about it. We can even write up a new lease for it. I did not do this to be disrespectful or in any way manipulative. I assumed that it was fine. Otherwise, I would not have got them.
All right, there's also an allegation that on or about June 15th, you acted in an aggressive manner toward Michelle, that you were screaming at midnight and throwing furniture.
No, what happened? I'll take that one first and then we'll do the parking. So I came home on that night. I had done a 17-hour shift. I was very stressed out about what's going on. And yes, I snapped. I had a PTSD moment and I snapped. And I do not remember what I yelled, but I do remember that I yelled. I went out my back door and there was a piece of art that they left in the house that they did not want, that they thought was ugly. And it's on the back door behind the laundry room. I opened the door. It fell down onto the ground. It frustrated me. I picked it up and I threw it 5 feet. I did not throw it at them. They were not outside. It was not at their house. Did not even go further than the back line of the property of the house that I'm renting. Yes, the sheriff came over and I explained to him what was happening, and his exact words to me were, "This is a civil matter and I do not need to be involved."
All right. Did you in fact
And
throw
as far as there was no furniture. It was one piece that comes apart into 3 pieces. It stands 4.5 to 5 feet tall, and it's red. It's 3 different colors of red, and it's square. It's too heavy for me to pick up and throw because I have a back condition, and I cannot pick up anything more than 5 pounds.
God.
Hang on.
Okay, so now he has a back condition on top of his PTSD, and there's no way. Like, he wasn't wrong about the pets because he has a problem. That's their problem, not his. He's not wrong about this artwork because they didn't like it. You saw the lady, she looked it back and was like, what? Like, we probably never said that we didn't like that. But now he's saying, I have a back problem, I can't pick up anything more than 5 pounds. Remember that he said that. He has a back problem, can't pick up anything more than 5 pounds. The excuses aren't done yet. Okay, I need to make sure I was unmuted. The excuses aren't done yet, okay? Karen has more coming. Here we go.
Did you say this is a piece of artwork or something?
Yes, it's a piece of artwork.
And you're saying you threw it or it fell or what?
It fell off the back porch when I opened the door because I was trying to get out of the house so I could get rid of my panic attack. It hit the piece of artwork, so I picked it up in frustration and I threw it off the porch, which literally went 5 feet, maybe not even that much. It did not go.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that, y'all? Who heard that? Who heard what he just said he did? Who heard what I gotta stop it there because he just fucking snitched on himself. Who heard what he just said he did? He did what? He threw it. If you threw it, how did you throw it without picking it up? Now, remember what he also said. He has a back injury, and his back injury precludes him from picking up anything more than 5 pounds. Just remember all these things. They'll be relevant in a moment.
The driveway, it was not as if it was a projectile. It's not something that weighs a little bit. That thing weighs probably 50 pounds.
All right.
It weighs 50 pounds. It weighs 50 pounds, but he can't pick up more than 5, guys. Make it make sense in the chat. Make it make sense.
At least that your actions, the screaming and such, throwing or whatever you did with the artwork, that caused the DeRoynes to call the police, and that they would have been disturbed by your actions.
I suppose so, but the parking thing we need to discuss because that's entirely different.
Okay, why don't you tell me about the parking situation? Do you know what date that was?
It was the 12th of May.
Okay, and
I caught myself right there at the beginning. Okay, so before he goes into this parking situation, I just want you to be creative, okay? I'm going to tell you what happened a little bit, give you a little bit. And I want you to be creative and tell me what you think his excuse is, okay? This was great. When I heard, this is where I heard it and I was like, wait, what? I got to go back and listen to this whole case, right? So his car is blocking a shared driveway, okay? So they live right across the street from each other. This is a landlord that lives across the street from a tenant. And they have a shared driveway. His car he has 2 parking spaces, but his car is half parked into the driveway. Instead of parked like this, it's parked like that, and it's pulled out in a manner so that she cannot pull in to get her trailer into her driveway, okay? So now be creative. I'm going to see if anybody can guess it. What do you think his excuse is? What do you think his excuse is? All right, there we go.
did you in fact park in the wrong spot and block?
No. I have 2 designated spots in my unit that I pay for along with the rent. I was involved in a car accident that day. Someone hit the back of my car and it threw me up against the driver's side of my vehicle, which made me very sore. It very much disturbed me. I drove the car home. I parked in between the 2 spaces that I have in front of my unit. So instead of parking severely to the right or severely to the left, I parked in the middle and I did not pull all the way up to the grass line. Michelle was coming in with a trailer and she came up to the door and she said, "You need to move your car. I cannot park my trailer. You need to move it now." And I told her that I could not because I was involved in a car accident and I was very sore and that I could move it tomorrow. But at that point in time, I could not move it, physically could not move it. She threw her arms up in the air and she said, "This is unacceptable. I'll just call the sheriff and they'll have you move it for me because this is not right." She called the sheriff. The sheriff came up. She talked to the sheriff. The sheriff spoke to me. I told him what had happened. I told him that I was involved in the accident. I told him that I was too sore and that it had affected my PTSD and I needed to just not deal with it right now. And that if he wanted to move the car, he was very welcome to move it. He said, thank you. He would move it. He moved it. He came back. He said, "I'm sorry I had to deal with this. Again, this is a civil matter. I should not be here." And he left. So in no time did I park in their space or block anything for them. They needed my parking space to get.
What do you want to bet? That with all of his injuries that he's claiming, right? With all this pain and all this suffering and all this PTSD he's going through on the day of the accident, that he spent more time arguing about getting that car moved and having a police officer do it for him than he would have done by himself, by just doing it himself, right? Isn't that what, like, these people, Karens, will put more effort into not doing something than it takes to just do it in the first place, right? This guy's a fucking drama queen, huge drama queen. All right, and the audio wasn't muted.
For her to be able to put her trailer back on the property where she has it stored. They come in here on any given day. For the past few months, there have been at least 4 to 5 extra vehicles parked on the property in their driveway or on the lawn, and she could not maneuver it that day because there were all sorts of cars parked everywhere. So I was the one that had to move my vehicle so that she could park. She was not accepted.
Yeah, that's part of it. If your vehicle is illegally parked or parked in a manner where she can't get in, then yes, you're responsible for moving it. That's how it works.
The fact that I could not do it that day.
Is it true that a deputy?
Yes, you could. Yes, you
sheriff's
could.
deputy actually had to get in the car and move it that day?
Yes. Yes. He asked.
Well, why?
He asked.
Yeah,
He asked.
do that.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wrong place.
I'm sorry. What?
Why would he do that except that it was blocking the DeRoyne's access?
So,
and
let me rephrase this again. The driveway comes up in an L shape. They have the long part of the L. I have the short part of the L. The short part of the L is in front of my unit. They have the long part of the driveway. They also park on the lawn in front of my parking spaces. I was pulled all the way up except for maybe 2 feet to the end, to the very end of the dirt drive on the grass part. I was in my designated areas. They wanted to use my designated areas so that they could park their trailer. Again, I made it clear that I had been in an auto accident that day and I was too sore to drive. Michelle would not accept that. She called the sheriff. The sheriff came, spoke with me, and I spoke with him. There was no anger. There was no malice. I told him if he wanted to move the car, he could move the car because he asked if he could. And I said, yes, that's fine. And he said, you can watch me. I'll just move it over here a little bit closer to the edge so that they can do whatever they need to do. But again, I was in my designated paid for parking spaces. I was not at the edge of it. I was not overlapping into their area in any way at all. I was within the squared rectangular area where I parked.
I don't know if y'all caught that, but then he just contradicted himself, right? Earlier, he said, I pulled in and I was not all the way beyond the grass line, meaning part of his car was outside of his designated parking space, right? He did say that, right? All right, just making sure.
all right. Is there anything else that you would like to say on your behalf?
Yeah, as well as the repairs and stuff, that's not correct. I let them know by email many times that I work sometimes 7 days a week. Sometimes I work 12 to 15, 16 hours a day. Usually I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. And if I do get off early, I'm home by at least 6 or 7 o'clock at night. As far as the repairs were concerned, there has never been any date set. I told them on certain days I might be available, but if I'm not, I would let them know. They came in one day when I was not home and they picked up William or Michelle picked up a piece of furniture that was at my front door, moved it into the hallway and left it there by the spare room. I don't know why they picked it up. They did not fix the light fixture. They just stuck it back up on the ceiling. It's still hanging by a single cord. The next time they came in was on the 1st of June, after Will told me I was supposed to be out on the 2nd of June. He said there had to be a house inspection. He did the house inspection. And at that point, he said, we need to fix this light and the dishwasher. And I said, when are you going to do it? And he said, I can do it now. And I said, no, thank you, because you told me I had to be out tomorrow. I've had a very long day. I'm stressed. And then he turned around. He said, well, I need the rent. And at that point, I did say to him, I do not understand where you are coming from. You're telling me to move out, and now you're telling me you want the rent. What is the deal? You people are so inconsistent. I cannot keep this straight. I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, let's talk about the inconsistent predicament you just put the landlord in. Okay, number one, you say, I sometimes work 7 days a week. Okay, well, let's start before that. Number one, you say there are repairs that need to be made, and you need to make them. You made that claim. You said a light fixture was hanging down. You made that claim. Okay? Then you go and you say, but I sometimes work 7 days a week. So there you go. Now you have that. Now they can't make the repair because you might not be there. Not only that, but you said you don't even know. You can sometimes have a day that's free that you change at the last minute. So they can't even schedule to do the repair because they don't know that your schedule is going to be good to go. You know, and there was one other thing. I need to play this last little second because he said one other thing that made me want to react to that. Hold on.
Will told me I was supposed to be out on the 2nd of June. He said there had to be a house inspection. He did the house inspection.
Okay,
and
well,
at
I guess that was
point,
it.
He said,
but it comes back to the same inconsistencies that you're telling them. They're inconsistent, but you offer them no ability to be consistent. They cannot schedule an appointment with you. It's point blank. So you can't want the repair to be done and then not let them do the repair and then complain about it in court as if that's going to be some kind of get out of eviction free card, which it's not.
we need to fix this light and the dishwasher. And I said, when are you going to do it? And he said, I can do it now. And I said, no, thank you, because you told me I had to be out tomorrow. I've had a very long day. I'm stressed. And then he turned around and he said, well, I need the rent. And
hold on. Did I miss that earlier, guys? Did I miss somebody say that, hold on. I don't, okay. So a good friend sent me a message just now about some shit I need to know. But anyway, somebody says out there that he said earlier that he only works 2 days a week. Is that true? Okay. Does anybody remember him say that? He works 1 to 2 days a month, not even a week, a month? Okay. What's the stroking sound? I don't know. But anyway, did I miss that? He did say that? Okay. So see, there you go. Now you're telling them they can't. So it really just seems like he just doesn't want anybody inside of his home, but he wants everything fucking fixed. We'll keep going, but that's what it seems like to me.
At that point, I did say to him,
oh, the cicadas? Yeah, they're back
where
there.
you're coming from. You're telling me to move out, and now you're telling me you want the rent. What is the deal? You people are so inconsistent. I cannot keep this straight. I'm willing to pay the rent, but I'm not going to pay late fees when I am sitting here for 3 months with stuff that has not been repaired. And they give me a note that tells me they came in when I wasn't home when they were not allowed to. On top of the fact, there's all sorts of things that are wrong with this house. There are 3 doors to this house that have key entryways. 2 of them, they would not give me the keys to. They told me they could not find them and that I did not need the keys. I could just use the front door. That's not acceptable. I mean, the light in the hall doesn't work. There are seals around the windows that don't work. The bugs keep coming in. I can't keep them open. The dishwasher is dismantled on the floor in the kitchen. The light above the stove doesn't work. And he told me, well, I can just screw and unscrew the hot light bulb when I need light above the food that I'm working with. And that, I told him, no, that wasn't acceptable. He had to fix it. So instead, William tells me, well,
First world problems. First world problems, am I right? Like, my man's complaining that the light above his stove, it doesn't work. He has to screw in a light and unscrew it. He's complaining about that. Okay? These are first world problems. And no, the landlord is not responsible for fixing the overhead light on the stove. That's an amenity. That's not a necessity.
Tyler, you should see some things. At least you have a hood vent on your stove. We don't even have that. That's not the point. I'm not paying rent to live in their house. I'm paying rent to live in this house.
Oh, you admitted yourself that you're not paying rent at all sometimes. So there goes that argument.
I've been very upfront with everything since I've been here. Was very honest about the cats. I let them know what was going to happen, and we talked about it more than once. I talked about it with William, and I talked about it with Michelle, and I talked about both of them at the same time. When I mentioned the catio, Will thought that was an interesting idea. They never once said, no, I have allergies. You cannot have them in this house. And if Michelle does not live in this house, what is the point in the first place?
I'm going to stop you there because I don't think you're necessarily adding anything in new. But anyhow, I'm going to give Mr. and Mrs. DeRoyne an opportunity to offer any rebuttal testimony to Mr. Morgan's arguments as opposed to asking questions. So would either of you like to testify in response to the allegations Mr. Morgan's raised?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we both would like to add a little bit to that, if that would be okay. Thank you.
Mr. Ryan, if you could raise your right hand, please.
He actually offers the best
DeRoyne,
testimony.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. So let's take one item at a time. what is your response to Mr. Morgan's description of the parking violation?
Your Honor, he was given plenty of notice on the request to park in his designated parking area.
I was in my areas.
Okay, Mr. Morgan, it's not
Sorry,
helping
I
your
apologize.
interrupt Ms. Jeroen, okay? So let's be civil about this. And anyhow, go ahead, Ms. Jeroen.
I had called his cell phone in the morning to ask him if he would be willing to pull his car forward into his designated parking area. I left him a voicemail. He ended up calling me back, demanding that I call his number and tell him who I was. So I did that, and then he hung up on me while I was making the request to have him move his car. Once he figured
Was the location where Mr. Morgan was parked, was it causing difficulty for you as far as access to your home or leaving your home?
Honor, this, if you can see it, is.
Look at it. All right, so he's supposed to park with the front of the car facing the camera. And oh yeah, I got to tell you something in a second. He's supposed to park like this. That's how he parked. And he said he did that. He couldn't move it because he was too injured. He couldn't move it to right here. He could argue with the police, argue with the landlord, but could not pull it up 10 feet because he was too injured. Fucking Karen. Okay. Before we go any further, I gotta admit something. I had on the noise reducer in the back, but I didn't realize that I switched to the wrong microphone. So I haven't even been using my good microphone. Has it just gotten a lot better, the sound quality? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me. Did it get better? Other than that, we'll continue on. I'm sorry for all the crazy sound that's been coming through. I love doing live shit. All right. Okay, so we'll go back to the trial, and she's going to show the picture. The picture is the damning evidence. Look at the back of the car. It's hanging out in front of the driveway. She can't pull in.
One of the pictures, the parking spots are in front of that car. This is the parking job that he left us with, which required him to at least make a 3-point turn to do this instead of pulling forward directly into his parking area. We use the area behind his parking area to turn our vehicles around. It's the common access area that he's parked in.
No.
Okay, then let's talk about the description of Mr. Morgan gave of the throwing the piece of artwork or and screaming. Was that your memory of the incident?
Your Honor, my memory of the incident was being woken up to the phrase, if I could repeat that. It has some profanity in it.
Go ahead.
Who the F do you think you are? Followed by a loud crash in the area of the driveway. It was the piece of artwork that he's describing. It is quite heavy, and it did make quite a racket in the middle of the night. There are other people that live in our household that felt threatened by this behavior as well.
Did you throw it though, or did you just hear it crash?
No, it was by the well, which was in excess of where the bounds of his residential area are.
So it had to be thrown or in some way to leave the boundaries of his home.
Yeah, it was several feet away from the porch that it had been previously sited on.
I need to make a comment for all this when it's done, please. Not to interrupt.
What was that, Mr. Morgan?
I need to make a rebuttal to all this when it's finished, not to interrupt. That's not
I will give another opportunity, okay? But let me, Ms. Morgan, as far as the But I think those were my concerns, but was there any other response you wanted to make to Mr. Morgan's testimony?
Yeah, I would like to just say that his statement on the notice to move his car was a little bit inaccurate. After trying to inform him by phone of this request and being hung up on, having to approach his residence in person to make the request and having the door slammed in my face. That is when I told him that I have already called about the issue and that it was recommended to me just to have his car towed. So as a last ditch effort to try and be accommodating to him, I did call the sheriff's office back and see if they could address the situation instead of having his car towed. About the catio and the cats, as the property owner, I had zero knowledge of his desire to get animals, cats in the home. And I had to look at the lease that he signed because I was very surprised that he thought that it would be okay to have pets in the home. So that was a week after he brought cats into the residence was when I was notified by him. And then I asked him for some additional documentation, and it's been over a month without any supporting documentation of their necessity. But regardless, I am allergic to cats.
Let me ask you about that, because I think I heard Mr. Morgan say that he did have a doctor's note or something saying that he sent to you indicating this was a support animal. Is that true or not?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. We did document it.
You're still under oath, right? So you did receive that?
Your Honor, yes, I did receive that. However, I received it, what date was it? It was after our last meeting with the friend of the court. I'm not sure what that pre-trial is called. Your Honor, I had been requesting that information from Mr. Morgan for well over a month and had received nothing. And also, the letter that he gave us was dated after I confronted him about the lease violation. So he did this retroactively. They were pets, as I knew.
Who is the letter from? Is it a doctor or what?
It seems to be a primary care doctor.
Okay.
We all know about someone who uses primary care doctors for their own legal benefit. Remember Chili? I went to the primary care doctor and he said my knee was broken and that I had high blood pressure and that if I went into this fight with this police officer that I challenged to fight, that my ego would be forever hurt and I could never recover from that. Remember that guy? He went to a primary care physician as well. So I'm calling bullshit on the need for support cats, emotional support cats.
All right. So, Mr. Morgan, you indicated there was something you wanted to respond to. You're still under oath.
Yes, I am. So first of all, that art piece, I have sclerosis of the spine, and I also have what I can't pronounce correctly, but it's kind of like radiculopathy. I cannot pick up anything more than 5 to 10 pounds. That thing weighs 50 pounds. Again, it crashed off the porch, and I moved it because I was angry, and yes, it was by the way.
But did you hear that? Did you hear that? In the same sentence, listen to what he says. In the same sentence, he contradicts himself within 5 words from making a statement about his limitations. 5 words later, he's already contradicted himself. Listen.
So,
here it goes.
Mr. Morgan, you indicated there was something you wanted to respond to. You're still under oath.
Yes, I am. So first of all, that art piece, I have sclerosis of the spine, and I also have what I can't pronounce correctly, but it's kind of like radiculopathy. I cannot pick up anything more than 5 to 10 pounds. That thing weighs 50 pounds. Again,
there it is. I cannot pick up anything that weighs more than 5 to 10 pounds. That thing weighs 50 pounds. Earlier, he said he picked it up and threw it. He just threw it down. He said he picked it up and threw it down. By his own words. He contradicts himself. Every time, every one of his arguments, he's contradicted himself. Other than the cats, other than to say, I got the cats before I moved in. Or he said, I told him about the cats before I moved in and got them after, which wasn't true. It was in his lease. He couldn't have pets. And then he got them after and then told them about it. So that was the other thing. I guess he did contradict himself there.
I off the porch and I moved it because I was angry. And yes, it was by the well, but it was still within the confines of the property line of my house. As for the parking of the car and having it towed, again, I was within the confines of my assigned 2 spaces. Instead of parking to the right, the extreme right or the extreme left, I was in the middle of both spaces. I was no more than 2 feet from the edge of the front of the parking space. Michelle could not get in because she had to park a trailer that she had to back in to the front of her house on the property off of the driveway. She may have called me in the morning, but I turned my phone off because I had been hit by the car the day before and I was still in bed sleeping and I was medicated because I had gone to the doctor. I did not see the phone call or the voice message until she was knocking on my door. She came to the door. She was very agitated. She was very animated, waving her arms and gesticulating everywhere, telling me that I had to move the car or I would have it towed. She was not giving me a chance to tell her or explain to her about the accident. Yes, I shut the door because she was just screaming at me and saying she would just call the police and have the car towed. Again, the police officer came over and very eloquently spoke with me. I let him know what had happened and why I could not move it. He noticed that the vehicle was within the confines of my parking space, but Michelle had let him know she could not get her Jeep turned around to have the trailers shoved onto the property in front of their house. And again, I let the sheriff move the car. He was very polite about it. I was very polite about it. As far as the letter from the
Wait, hold on. So if the car was properly parked, I don't think the sheriff would have offered to fix the problem for you. He would have been offering to fix the problem for her. Like maybe saying, oh, maybe you're just struggling to get your trailer backed in. Let me help you out. He would have been helping her out because he would have been doing the citizen that was mildly in the wrong. Let's just be honest. This is not a huge violation here, right? So one person is mildly in the wrong and that person needs to correct that problem. The sheriff shouldn't be the one dealing with it. You should, but that's beside the point, right? That's beside the point. Right now, the sheriff is looking at it like, dude, you're the one that's in the wrong. Just give me your keys and I'll fix the problem. That's the way I see it. That's how I see that situation playing out. Because if it would have been the other way, if she'd have been in the wrong, he'd have been helping her out, not you.
As far as the emotional support letter from my doctor has a 6-week to 3-month waiting list. I got the letter on the 3rd. Got the letter on the 3rd of April. Wait, January, February, March, April. No, 3rd of May, and gave it to them and let them know that these were emotional support animals, and it was for the benefit and to alleviate the issues that I am going through. And it is from my primary care physician from Crystal Lake Health Center. I have always been upfront with everything about everything that's been going on.
Hey, look that up. Hey, somebody look that up, please. Crystal Lake Health Center. Okay, Crystal Lake Health Center. And I don't know which county this is in. Crystal Lake Health Center. Look that up and tell me if that is a primary care physician style thing or if that's an accredited doctor's building. Like, let's say, what's 777 Forest Lane? There's a huge Medical Center Dallas, I think. Medical City Dallas, I think is what it's called. Tell me whether it's like a conglomeration of doctors and specialists or if it's sitting on the corner next to a 7-Eleven.
Cannot lift up that thing and throw it to the extent that she said it was thrown. It fell off the porch. I barely
probably a veterinarian
barely threw it. It moved. Yes, it makes noise because it's in 3 pieces and it came apart.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Morgan. So I've now heard testimony, and I've given both sides a chance to respond to the other's testimony. And now it's time for me to make a determination.
Surrender Monkey says, I just tried to search it and get my meth dealer. I'm crap at this. Okay, so we've reached the end. We've reached the end. There's got to be somebody out there that sympathizes with the defendant, right? There's at least one person that sympathizes with the defendant. So, time to do a poll. Eviction is the question. The answer is either yes, you side with the homeowners, evict his ass, or no, you side with the emotionally destroyed person who needs cats to breathe. I'll leave it up to you. Vote now. All right. And while we vote, I'll give you guys a chance, while I give them a chance to vote, I'll do a couple of super chats and then we will read the results out. I'll only do a couple of them so that way we can get it right. All right, let's see. Darth Bane, remember, 38 months. God damn it, you're really close to being the long one. Mike 71, I believe, is the longest one, but you're close. You're up there, 38 months. I really like your vids. Keep up the good work. Guys, listen, I'm trying to tell you guys, I wish I could tell you how much, there's like a plethora of videos coming out. I've got a lot of these that I'm going to do live, okay? I'll be honest with you. I've been inspired by Law Talk with Mike. I watch every one of his videos. I see things that he does that I could easily translate and do at my own pace without stepping on whatever he's doing or, you know, the toes that he's doing. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm not peeking out on my memory. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I got a lot of videos to do with you guys. I got some that we can do right after this one if you want. You know, shorter ones, longer ones, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I like doing this, but I also am going to keep doing the regular content too, because I've got a huge crowd that likes to watch the 10 to 15 minute videos. I'm not going to stop that, but I am going to start doing this more often. It won't always be outside, obviously. Today was just because my AC's broke inside, and here in a second, sorry, I accidentally start something in the background every time. Here in a second, we'll do the conclusion. I'm letting you guys vote. Looks like we do have a few people that are sympathetic towards the defendant here. But yeah, let me get back to this. It was Sue Bear, $2. Get your AC fix. I will. Shay, remember 14 months. Hello from Seattle. Hey Shay. There's people before this. I'll get to you too. I haven't forgot about y'all. Ray Bowmans for $2. Thank you. Cat9, $1. Catatonic, $1.99. Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh great. Just jumped on me. TS is right, and we all love this channel. Thank you, Catatonic. Love you too. Hank's Corner, $2. That's Morgan, Big M, Small Organ. I read these. Okay, and then Casey for $5, missed you. I'll get back to the rest of them. Let's get to the conclusion because it looks like we have 95% of you think. Evict his dumbass. And let's see what the judge has to say.
In this case, this is a complaint for possession. And what I find is there is no question that the defendant has made several late rent payments beginning in December, where the rent was 23 days late. The lease agreement does provide for payment on the first of each month. The June payment in particular wasn't received until the 28th of the month. And
I let them know it would be late. I let them know.
Shut
it was going
Karen.
to be late. And I was very sorry for it, but I let them know. I went pretty much bankrupt this winter from being sick, and I'm trying to get...
Okay, I've muted you, Mr. Morgan, because I've given you both an opportunity, a full opportunity to be heard, and now I have to make my decision, okay? So, anyway,
put a 1 in the chat if the judge muting you makes you happy. I'll start.
For rent to be paid on the first of the month, and there is a default provision which provides that if the tenant fails to comply with any of the financial or material provisions of this agreement, that is a violation of the lease agreement for which the lease may be terminated. Proper notice was given, both a 30-day notice, 3 30-day notices, and then a 7-day notice as to the late rent in June. that by itself is a sufficient material breach of the contract to allow for termination of the lease agreement and possession to be placed with the plaintiffs. Now, the law requires that I provide 10 days for the defendant to vacate the premises before a eviction order can be signed. So I will provide 10 days notice. That means that Mr. Morgan, you need to vacate the premises. Let's see, it's June 30th, so that would be the 10th of July.
Right, it's Monday.
You are responsible for the 10 days in July for rent, although there was no box checked for a money judgment in this case. So if there are any monies owed under the agreement, that would have to be sought at a later time in this action or as a small claims action. There's also the right to collect any damages if there was damage beyond ordinary wear and tear, but we're not going to take up the damage issue at this time. Again, because this was a summons and complaint for eviction only. Mr. Morgan, if you don't move out, the Deroynes may petition for a formal eviction order. That's something that you probably want to try to avoid because that's a black mark on the rental history and it can make it more difficult to rent in the future. If for the Deroynes, you'll need to contact Ms. Corey, Patty Corey in our clerk's office, or Cindy Shaw in our clerk's office, and one of them will assist you with the eviction order if it becomes necessary to request a formal order of eviction. If the eviction order is signed, a court officer will assist you in having the defendant removed from the property. I do want to address some of the other issues that were raised. I do find that the issue with the pets, it was a violation of the lease initially. If at some point the defendant later obtained a doctor's note justifying having the pets there as support animals, I'm not going to get into the sincerity of that, but it may be a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act if I were to find that by itself was a violation where a primary care physician has indicated that this may be a support animal. With regard to the parking, I do find, based on the testimony, that the Deroynes, he's given some explanations, but none of them really add up to why the car was parked the way that it was. But that's really not I'm not sure that that is a material basis for my finding. I think the rent payments alone are what is important. So anyway, we are finished for this afternoon. I'll prepare an order. You'll each get a copy of that. And it'll get sent to you this afternoon still. And we are all finished. Feel free to sign off at this time.
All right. All right. So, not a complete loss, I guess. For the 5% of you out there that think that it should go to him, I can tell you that he's enough of a Karen that the judge just put in his head, oh my God, I can bring an American with Disabilities Act against them. But I don't think that that's going to be the case, because I do believe that, you know, all she has to do is go get a doctor's note that says, I'm allergic to cats. So now we're looking at 2 disabilities, and one has already been said, hey, this can't be done, to it'll affect me. You can't do this because it'll affect me. Where he's like, well, you can't take them away because it'll affect me. Well, then we default to the original agreement, I would guess. And the original agreement says that he needs to move the fuck out. No pets. But like the judge says, it doesn't matter anyway. That argument's moot, because the payments alone defaulted him in the on the lease. So they had every right to kick him out for the payments alone. And then to add to it, let's see, there was what was some of the excuses? Oh, I can't lift 5 or 10 pounds. I can't lift more than 5 or 10 pounds, but I moved this thing about 5 feet out of the way. That's 50 pounds. Yeah, not believing it. I was too hurt to move my car. That's my favorite one. That's the one I love, because that's the one that required the police to be called. I'm too hurt to move my car. Bullshit. You just didn't want to do it. That's what Karens do, and that's why I'm calling him a Karen. He's a Karen because he's like, I guarantee. Who wants to put money on it? That if the situations were reversed, let's say it's the lady that had her car in a manner where he couldn't get into his driveway, and she had just given birth the day before. What do you think he would be? What do you think he'd be like? Oh, you know what? You just gave birth. You're kind of hurting, I imagine. Day after, you know. You get a pen. I'll figure it out. You think that he's going to do that? Or he's going to be like, just move your car. Just move your car. I need to get my shit in. So he's probably not affording her, or he's probably expecting more of an affordance from her than he'd be willing to give to her in the same situation, should it have been reversed. So I'd be willing to bet that. I'd put money on it that he'd do that. Let's see, what else was there? There was the trying to remember, there were some other excuses that he had. Oh yeah, that's right. The one that I didn't pick up on that you guys caught. Good catch on that one. I can't let them in to do the repairs that I am not paying them because they're not doing. But at the same time, you know, because I work 7 days a week, but I can't pay rent because I only work 2 days a month sometimes. So on the months where they had 28 days to pay you, or I'm sorry, not to pay you, to fix anything you had, why didn't you let them in? Why didn't you say, look, I got all 28 of these days off this month. Come in, fix everything. I'll get out, I'll go walk up in a park for hours at a time while you fix shit. No, I'm telling you now, dude's a Karen. Dude's a Karen. Dude got what he wanted. Put a 1 in the chat if you think he got what he wanted. Put it. I want to see that one, the one for the good eviction here. Because fuck that. He shouldn't be able to treat those people that way. Those people deserve the respect too. It's their property. So put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Put a 2 in the chat if you think I'm a jackass and the defendant's right. You're probably right. You know, who works 2 days a month? Karen does. All right. There we go. There's all the 1s right there. There's the 69 by Craven Mordick, obviously. And Surrender Monkey. All right. So look, here's the deal. I'm getting ready to read all the super chat. Thank you very much for everybody that super chatted. I'm not gonna make this a super long one. I'll probably go out and edit the parts where I muted myself. We ain't trying to have everybody see that shit, right? I want to go live to talk about delete laws. I don't know if I want to do it outside or not. All right, hey, listen, once I got the mic set up to the proper mic, are y'all hearing the cicadas anymore? That's a question. That's what I need to know. Because some people were like, it sounds like a power tool. You know why it sounded like a power tool? Whoever said it sounded like a power tool. And everybody was like, well, that's what cicadas sound like. Yes, but he was actually right. Whoever said that was right. Because it was using the mic that's blocked by this camera up here, this one that I'm using. It was blocked by this camera, it's on the back side of that mic. So what he was hearing is he was hearing the vibration of the computer against the camera while I was talking. That's what he was hearing. He was saying it sounded like a power tool. That's what he was hearing. So can you hear the cicadas now? Now that I've got the proper mic plugged in and it's going through the noise reducer. Sounds good to you? Our secret. Oh yeah. Thank you. KMMB. No more cicadas here. All right, good deal, good deal. I did spend a little bit of money. I mean, it's like $70, but something I suggest, like if you're a content creator out there, get a little $70 mic. It's a really good one. It works for shit like this, and you can get a noise reducer online for free pretty much these days, an AI one. So, all right. So anyway, I'm gonna read super chats, and who would come back later tonight if I wanted to play another video? Would you? If you'd rather wait until tomorrow, just say wait till tomorrow. If you want it tonight, say tonight. So either tonight or wait till tomorrow. I'll let the chat decide. Or actually, here we go. Another poll. How about that? Another poll. I gotta close this one first. Because, hey, I got 5 videos. I got 5 videos just yesterday. Hell, we could do it right now if you wanted to. Shit, I don't even care. I literally have 5 videos for you guys that I recorded today. Last night. Throughout the day yesterday while the lives were going on. This would be like, this 5 videos yesterday could be a daily thing for me. And I got some content to do, some short form content too. So that's good. Tonight? Okay. Tonight. That's what we're going to do. 75% of you said you'll come back tonight. How about this? You want a preview? Hey, court nerds. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a fucking proud court nerd. I am going to put a 1 in the chat because I'm a court nerd. A law nerd, a court nerd, legal nerd, not a fucking constitutional scholar. You start calling yourself a constitutional scholar and you'll get your dick kicked in. But do it now. I can't do it, Jen. Good to see you too, brother. Good to see you. Okay, look. We'll do it tonight. I go take a break. I gotta charge my headphones. I gotta charge this microphone. Look, I want to show y'all, just so you know. I'm into some cool shit, guys. Shiz, are you still in the? If Shiz is still in the chat, she'll tell you, right? I went to New York City, and I went out with Shiz and Kate. They met me down in New York City in Times Square. We walked around, we partied. It was fucking fun. It was a blast. But it was funny because when we got back, like every time we run into like a little tech problem, I'm like, oh, hold on, let me fix that for you real quick. And I'd fix it real fast, right? And we get back to the room, and fucking the first thing Kate says to my girlfriend, she was at the room waiting for us. The first thing she says, she was like, "Your boyfriend's such a nerd," and I was like, "Fuck yes, I am. I'm a nerd. I'm proud of it. I'm happy to be the person I am. You know, fuck it. I'm a nerd. I don't give a fuck." But anyway, we're gonna do this one tonight. Let me get you a preview. I just want to get you a preview. Let me decide which one I'm gonna. I'll ask you, which one do you want to do? Hold on. Let's go to my live playlist. Oh! I got 2 good ones. I got 3 good ones actually to go over. Bad dog or bad dog owner. That's number 1. All right. So let me make this poll real quick, and then so you guys can vote to what you want. All right. Tonight, option 1 is going to be bad dog owner. Let me tell you what option 2 will be. That's on a dog bite case. Okay? That's a dog bite case. So is it a bad dog or bad dog owner? We have... I'll show you this one too. This was funny. Landlord, tenant. Okay, we have the Tukwila Karen. The Tukwila Karen is the one that's going to piss you off. Not even going to lie. You're not going to be happy with that one. You're going to be throwing your fucking... We're going to yell together, though. Okay? We're going to yell together. The Tukwila Karen takes place in Washington. It's an extremely disrespectful fucking piece of shit. And it's a soft-ass judge. So you're going to... Don't bring popcorn. Bring fucking lead potatoes. Because we're going to be throwing lead potatoes and tomatoes at both the defendant and the judge if we watch that one. Just so you know. I'm not too good. I'm not too good to call out a fucking soft judge as well. Alright? Now, the last one, and I kind of want to do this one on its own for sure, but I guess we could do it tonight. We could do this one tonight. This one is a good lawyer or bad policing. I'm not going to ruin the case for you. Okay? For that one, I'm only going to tell you that at the end of that case, we're going to ask the question, did she have a good defense lawyer? Or was it simply bad policing? So obviously, she's going to get off of this case. But is she getting off because she did the right fucking thing? Like I say every fucking time, take the fucking free lawyer. And he went to work and fucking busted ass. Or was it simply a bad policing and bad policy by the police that allowed her to walk free? I'll let you guys make the decision on that one. So, let's see. Let me put that in the third one. That was, we'll go ahead and call him good lawyer as the option. Tukwila Karen, bad dog owner, or good lawyer. Cast your vote now. I'm about to start reading off super chats. Okay. I want to play this video first because it's funny. Alright, here we go. It's a short video. It's a 1-minute video, and I'm going to get to the super chat.
Critics. State your name.
Cooper, Terry, how you doing?
This Florida
How you
judge
doing,
is
Mr.
hilarious, too.
I'm here.
Mr. Cooper, you're fully court charged trespass and disorderly conduct. You understand those charges?
Yes, I just went in there chicken. I mean, I ain't dealing nobody. I said get out.
Okay. When they said get out, did you get out? Maybe.
Yeah, I get out. I didn't know I ain't going there. I ain't do that to nobody, Your Honor. I didn't.
Okay.
I did. I didn't get to nobody. I won't go back there no more. I won't never go back there no more. You better believe that.
Terry, you gonna be in court on Monday if I let you out?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to get out?
Yeah, well, yeah. I ain't did that.
Yeah, just to let you know, he just got time served on the 23rd.
I know. But it'll be Judge Grammer's problem, not Judge Vance's problem. Hey, you better show up or Judge Grammer come looking for you. You understand?
All right. All right.
Release him on his own recognizance. Judge Grammer starts court at 1 o'clock. You need to be there at 12:45.
All right. All right, I'll be there.
July 3rd at 1 o'clock.
All right.
Thank you, Judge. I think that's everything.
Yeah, that judge is fucking hilarious. Like, that was just one of many of funny little scenes that happened, and I missed the rest of them. Like, I didn't get them recorded, but I saw one. There was one, it was really funny. He had a defendant came in, and he was like, he looks down at him, and he goes, Francis Key. And he goes, yes, sir? And he goes, Francis Scott Key? And he goes, yes, sir? And he starts laughing. He's like, you don't know, do you? Anybody in the chat, put in the chat, why would he say Francis Scott Key and look at the guy like, whoa, what? And the guy was like clueless as to why Francis Scott Key could possibly be funny. Oh, when I saw that, I was like, I started recording right there and I caught this one, but I was trying to get the first half of it and it went away and yanked. I'm telling you, they pull him down and yank him immediately. But yeah, he's the Star Spangled, the person who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. He was like, Francis Scott Key? He's like, yeah. He goes, you don't know, do you? He goes, no. He goes, okay. And they all started laughing. It was so good. It was really funny. But okay, so now before I get to the super chats, and I know I've been telling you I'll get to the super chats, I'm gonna just play you just a snippet. We're gonna play 1 minute. I'm picking a random 1 minute in this video, and look, I'm gonna do just to show you,
But I agree with the request for the
random 1 minute.
evaluation.
Okay, random 1 minute. I'm not gonna pick and choose. I'm just gonna move it around. I'm gonna find a spot where his mouth is kind of open. There we go, right there. We'll go from there. Watch this, okay? This is what we're looking at the Tequila Karen.
Professionals every day. I deal with professionals multiple times every day. I know why. Like, what's the reasoning for giving me mental evaluation?
Well, if
The
I can
symptoms, the reasoning.
if I could cite two of them,
For
you deal with
arguing?
professionals, you deal with professionals every day, and you've studied every single law in the United States. Those are two good reasons. I need you to understand.
That's not something to be cool.
Sometimes
That's not something that's.
it's important for a professional to tell us if this case should go forward or not, and whether or not Mr. Goss is going to have enough information to be able to assist you in your defense, whether or not you are able to assist him in your defense. So I'm signing that order to have an out of custody evaluation. So speedy trial is told.
What happens if I plead guilty?
I'm not going to accept your guilty plea because I don't know if it's qualified. So what I want you to do is
I got arrested for stealing from a Safeway or a Target. I've never been in trouble.
stop for a second. I need you to. I need you to listen.
You're the judge. You changed the subject. My attorney's changed the subject. The prosecutor's not talking. The prosecutor's quiet.
I need you to
That's
listen.
crazy.
I need you to listen.
No,
I'm not accepting.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy. A mental evaluation is absolutely needed for this guy. But it's an interesting one. Like I said, you're going to be... That's one you need to sit far enough away from your screen because you will be going... But anyway. So, I will... I'll let you guys say the Tequila Karen. Wow. Okay. 44% of you, especially now that you've seen it, I wonder if y'all would keep your same answers or if it'd be, maybe it would be even higher. But okay, so let's read this. We'll do Tequila Karen. We'll do him tonight. It's an interesting video. I'll tell you like that. It's an interesting video. So, all right, we left off at Casey, $5 missed you. We're going to come back to you because Grim, you said, Grim, team, do you have a Discord channel? And yes, for everybody, we're going to pick up from there. But yes, I have a Discord channel. It's pinned in the comment section right now on the live chat. Let me go up and catch the ones I missed. Oh, I got all those. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Ray. Oh, okay. Right here. Ray Bowens, $2. Thank you very much, Ray. Appreciate you. Cat 9, $1. Yes, thank you. And I did pick it up from there. Shay, 2. Hello from Seattle. Member 14 months. Shay, good to see you. Grim, $2. Team, do you have a Discord channel? Yes, it is pinned in the live chat right now. Excuse me. Pup Mom RN. Oh, I love puppies. I'm gonna get one, another one soon. $4.99. Thanks for your brilliant and hilarious commentary. Just having fun today. You know, this is more laid back, just enjoying watching stupid together with you. It's a bit different than my normal content, but I do like doing it. I hope y'all like doing this too. Because on top of my normal content, you're going to get my normal content with the blue lights and all that, and the chilly talking shit stream, and then you're still going to get these streams right here that will complement those other things. Hope you guys like it. Keeping it real, Team Skeptic says, Unclean Hand, member 16 months. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Everybody go subscribe to Unclean Hands. Great auditor channel, by the way. Great auditor channel. Sarah Cartland, a.k.a. Mudley. I'm going to tell you something. I like Unclean Hands because he has that, like, cowboy sound to him. Being from Texas, I can relate. He just sounds, I don't know. You just kind of relate to the people that are around you. He sounds like somebody that would naturally be around me. So I like listening to Unclean Hands. He's very relaxing to me. Go sub to him. Sarah Cartland, a.k.a. Mudley, member 10 months. Hey, Skeptic, I'm loving where you're streaming from. It looks lovely, and it's great to see you. Great to see you as well, Sarah. And yes, I love it. This hey, where I'm at now is in a good place, a really good place. So thank you. And thank you to every one of you who contributed and helped put me here. I appreciate that, straight up. Paul, Rumor Frazier, $4.99. Go Team Skeptic. Tuned. Got Team Skeptic tuned. Laughing at Karens and drawing and an espresso. Life coffee life is to annoy Chili. TTU, baby. TTU. Thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate it. Matthew Miller, $2. Muted the whole explaining of life. Explaining the meaning of life. Yeah, I was, man. I got some things I could tell you about the. Every time I feel like the thing is falling out of my ear and I push it in, it starts playing a video in the background. Excuse me. I could tell you about the meaning of life, my friends. We got long conversations about that. But no, I was just simply laughing at the Karen during that muted time. Cynthia Merritt, $4.99. Put this towards a new mic. I just bought a new mic, Cynthia. It's going towards that. Maddie Graham, member 2 months. TTU, this Karen has just lost his mind. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the amount of hoops that he was going through, everything. See, I'll tell you, I've been around people like that. I can't fucking stand them, okay? I can't stand them. No matter what you say, they have an excuse as to why they're not in the wrong for it. Everything. The car was parked halfway out. I had just gotten in a wreck. I was too sore to move it. The artwork was thrown into this well, made a loud crash. Well, it wasn't thrown to make a loud crash because I can only lift 5 to 10 pounds, and that thing it weighs 50. So I picked it up and slightly walked it 5 feet and set it down. It just made a loud crash. The hoops, everything. It didn't matter. You say something. No, he has a reason. I can't fix the place. Well, I work 7 days a week. I don't have my rent money. Well, I work 2 days a month. Everything. I hate people like that. Take accountability. I get it. You're in court. You shouldn't snitch on yourself. Never snitch on yourself. But the moment that they say guilty, all right, or the moment that you say guilty or they say guilty, at that point, begin taking accountability for your actions and make the fucking right changes moving forward. Meaning of life. Who called it just a second ago? It's not even muted. Matthew Miller, you ready? Here, you're getting your meaning of life shit. Life is all about fucking learning from your mistakes. You can never, ever learn from your mistake if you don't first take accountability for them. Take accountability for your mistakes. I've taken accountability for every time I've made a mistake. I take accountability. I have to. That's the beginning. That's the process. That's how it starts to you growing from that fucking mistake. You have to take accountability. Chili, listen. Take accountability for your actions. Oh, there's no victims. Okay, I stalked a little bit. I've never been convicted of a crime, but here's my criminal history. I'm about freedom of speech, but let me shut you down to keep you from talking about me. It's the same fucking thing. Goddamn Karen. But anyway, that's the meaning of life. Take accountability and you'll grow. Stop thinking everybody else is the reason that you are in the situation you're in. Cynthia Merritt, 5 gifted memberships. You legend. Thank you so much. Zorkmaster, $1.99. He needs Vagisil for all his ailments. There ain't enough Vagisil in the world to fix that, Karen. Nick Volt. That's a good clip right there. You say there ain't enough Vagisil in the world to fix that, Karen. Nick Volt, my man, new member. Love you, Nick. Zorgmaster, $1.99. His pronouns are Karen was loser. Karen was loser. MB, $4.99. I just love your show, Team Skeptic. I sell myself out a little bit, guys. Sometimes I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, and it's fucking with my head at times. I'll be honest with you. I'm just being honest here. Sometimes I think that I'm just not funny. I'm not trying to be weird when I say that. I just do. I go through these things, and I'm just like, nobody likes you. Nobody fucking wants to see you. And then there's times like today when I feel like, man, this was a great show, and this is exactly what I want to be doing. Every day. I could do this every day, 2 times a day, and still make content. Because this would never burn me out. So, But anyway, I'm glad you love the show because I had a really great time doing the video today. Shay 2, $2. ESA are not covered under service animal laws. ESA, what's ESA? Can you elaborate, Shay 2? I want to know from your if you'll elaborate on that, because I want to know what ESA stands for. And you can type it in the chat. You don't got super chat. I'm looking at the chat as I'm reading it, and I'll keep looking. Just tag me. Unflat Earth for $5 New Zealand dollars. The guy suffers from a serious case of victim mentality. That's what I just said, right? That's what I just said. You know, I didn't think about it like that. I just thought about it from the point of view of deflection, not self-victimization. He's an absolute fucking victim every time, right? Like, it does not matter how you felt about the cat, or that no cats were in the lease. It was that it's his PTSD that has to be dealt with in his way. Remember now, okay? This is another thing I'm thinking about this. Think about it, all right? Think about it. How did he know that the cats were going to be rescue animals or emotional support animals for him? How did he know that? See, that's when my brain starts to tick and I start thinking about the stuff that wasn't brought up. Like, there's no temporal consistency that could exist there where you knew that the cats were going to be emotional support animals at the same time. Like you knew to a point that you knew that you had no other options. You know, like you couldn't have taken up fucking crochet or something, right? Knitting. So you knew that the cats were the answer before you ever got into the lease that said no pets, but yet you didn't have the cats to show you that they could be an answer. Because if you already had the cats, then that would have been something you would have addressed prior to moving into the lease, not after the lease was signed. Just no temporal or logical consistency in your arguments. But again, if you look at it from the point of view of victimization, of being your own victim, then yes, I guess it makes sense. When you're the victim, yeah, sure. Thank you very much for that. And it jumped. Now I got to find out where I was at. Right there. Unflat Earth. Thank you very much, Unflat. Galina, $5. Just looked it up on the ADA's website. Ooh, emotion. Oh, that's what ESA. ESA. Got it. Emotional support animals. Thank you. Emotional support animals are not covered under service animal law, says Shay 2. That's what you meant. Thank you very much, Shay. And then Shalina says the same thing. Just looked up on the ADA's website. Emotional support animals do not have the same rights as service animals. Yes. Service animals provide they're like, okay, a service animal would be to, let's say you can't see. You need a seeing eye dog. That's a service animal feels in a need for you. Like an epileptic dog. Like those dogs are service animals because they can detect epilepsy. If you're just like, man, it makes me feel so good that I can function normal in society, well, that's a problem that you probably need to be medicated for, not carry a fucking cat everywhere you go. I love my cat. Shout out to the big cat above, Schrodinger cat, looking down on us all. Appreciate you, brother. And I love cats. Don't get me wrong. I'm not an anti-cat guy. I love my cat more than life itself. So, Chain of Urgent Cares, $2. What did I say, Cynthia? What did I say? He's going to the same doctor that Chili went to get his get out of responsibility free card, right? I need an animal. I need a reason, doctor. Please tell me. I suffer from PTSD. What's wrong? Life. Good answer. What's your emotional support animal of choice? Cat? Great. That'll be $150. Thank you very much. Here's your note. I know how this works. I used to work in the restaurant industry. I used to know how to get out of going to fucking work. Shit. It's not worth a fucking $300 doctor visit or however much it is to go to like a uncovered doctor. I was uninsured at the time. So uninsured doctor, that would cost you like $300 for a visit. Much better to go to the $65 fucking urgent care on the side of the fucking at the Buckingham and Shiloh Road in Garland, Texas. You know what I'm saying? It's like, That's where you go when you need a doctor's note. Not a fucking doctor. You get a doctor's note from a doctor, right? They give you one. You don't have to go see him to get one. They just give you one when you're there for your ailment. Urgent care, you walk in and you say, this is what I need. And they just say, oh, okay, here's the price. It's going to cost you $65. Thank you very much. Here's your note on a piece of paper. So anyway, Philly and this guy, basically the same thing. I'm going to cover this because I just mentioned the kitties from Sassy P for $100, baby. Thank you so much, Sassy P. Says, more money for kittens, or for kitties. Yes, the kitties get treated so well over here. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, my cat is just completely fucking spoiled. I'm not a good cat owner. I spoil her too much. Missed your lives too, coming from SEMA. Remember 21? Missed my lives too, baby. Darth Bane, $5. Thank you, SEMA. Would you do a Q&A with Law Talk by Mike, or Law by Mike? I'm not sure if that's what you meant, Law Talk with Mike or Law by Mike, or any other lawyers about laws? I'd love to. I mean, I'm not a qualified law constitutional scholar, but having a conversation like that with somebody, that'd be fun. I'd do that in a heartbeat. The thing about me is I love talking to people that are more qualified than me, so I can understand their profession a bit better from a position that I might not ever be in. I'm never going to be a lawyer, okay? So that when I speak to lawyers, I get a better understanding of what it means to be a lawyer from their perspective, not how I can better be a lawyer, but how I can understand what they're doing in these things that I'm covering. You know, it's it's a learning experience to me. When I talk to science people like PhD Tony, or I talk to anybody else that's got a degree in physics or chemistry or anything else, I'm always trying to listen to them and learn from them because they're doing something, they have knowledge that I will probably never attain in my life. So I'm very having conversations with people that are professionals in a profession. Yeah, I love that. So Law Talk with Mike's a weirdo, by the way. Everybody that likes Law Talk with Mike, put a 1 in the chat because you're weird too. Fucking law nerds. I'll put a 1 in the chat for myself. All right. Casey Cooper, remember 10 months, well met and good whiskey. Hey, tonight, it'll be a Saturday night. I think maybe we might have while we're watching Tukwila Karen, we may also have a drink or two. So for those of you that are some whiskey drinkers, like myself and Casey Cooper, come on with it. All right, Dax. Yeah, Dax, not Ducks. Okay, Dax, $2. Love to Unclean Hands new video about GoFundMe. Ooh, I need to go see that because I saw somebody else mention him. If Unclean Hands, man, I don't know if anything's going on. If there is, just reach out to me, brother. You know how to get in touch with me. Kelly Nelson, remember 22 months. Kelly, 22 months, almost 2 years, baby. Goddamn. When you gonna put a ring on it, Kelly? Judge Simpson and Judge Bryant are the best. Yes, they are. I really do enjoy both Simpson and Bryant. The reason why, I'll tell you why I don't cover a lot of Judge Simpson or a lot of Judge Bryant. Because I get people asking me all the time, hey, why didn't you cover this or why didn't you cover that? Everybody covers them. Everybody covers them. So, unfortunately, in a genre like this, there's not, like, you're really watching for both commentary and the substance of the original. So it's not just like it's me right here, right now, when I'm sitting down talking to you. It's also reacting to content like we did today. So it's kind of hard to keep someone's attention who's already seen something on 3 or 4 other channels. And when it comes to Simpson and Bryant, literally everybody covers them. And that's fine. I'm not knocking anybody that does. I watch those channels, and I'm glad they cover them because I don't have time to really watch Judge Simpson and Judge Bryant. So I see 3 or 4 different perspectives on it. I usually watch Law Talk with Mike as the first one, as the first perspective, just because me and Mike talk to each other privately. So I kind of have, I naturally want to watch his. I know some people in the chat earlier were saying they don't like Mike or they're done with Mike, but and I love you too. You know who it was. Love you too. But also, you know, I like Mike. Mike's cool. So you got Mike. Time Served is a good one. There's a couple of good channels out there that do court. I wish I could remember them off the top of my head, but I can't. Trying to get through these super chats so I can go prepare for the next video. So we'll get through that. All right, Kelly Nelson, again, $2. Well, time to check out the Discord channel. I'm not on the Discord channel very often, but please go in there. Encourage me to get on more. That's gonna change though, because I told y'all a lot of things were gonna change in June, but it doesn't look like it's gonna change till probably like the beginning of August. To be honest, some of these changes is involving me more in the community and whatnot. But they're still coming. It's just a slight delay on everything. Oh no, everything's working itself out. Patreon has a new feature that is going to make patrons, for those of my friends that are patrons, let me tell you, there's a new feature that's about to let me upload videos to Patreon. So because these videos are court videos, they don't typically have a lot of cussing in them, so I don't do censored videos. But because I break those videos up and I interrupt and all that, sometimes people are like, it's hard to follow what's going on because you interrupt so much, and I'm not going to stop interrupting, so it is what it is. But on Patreon, I can then upload the full video or the uncut video and give that to you guys in a playlist. It's called Patreon Video. I haven't used it yet. That's coming soon. Thank you, Patreons, for being patient with me as I, haven't really done anything for my Patreons in such a long time. I feel bad for it. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support that comes out of Patreon for sure. It's just anything I do takes away from producing content right now as a one-man show, and that will soon change. And that's the thing, is when that changes, the workload isn't going to get any less. I'll just start being able to put out more content with the same amount of personal workload. That's what it all comes down to. Forgive me for my rant. That's not the meaning of life. That's the meaning of Skeptic's life. Okay? That one. Alright. Fraudit Wrangler. $5. Thank you for mentioning unclean hands. Texans got to stick together. TTU, baby. Yes, TTU, and absolutely Texans got to stick together. BSBT got porn bombed. Oh my god. Don't porn bomb anybody, people. But if you are going to do it to a piece of shit like BSBT. He don't deserve nothing. Fuck that guy. Fuck, let me tell you what he did. This pissed me off about him. I'm gonna call him out for this because he was trying to demean the entire community on Kate's channel because of something that happened with me 2 years ago, right? So, or 2.5 years ago now. 2.5 years ago, many of you may remember this. I had like a winter storm. I had a winter storm at my home. Not at my home, but where I lived. And it knocked out the power for a few days. I had no power. I had no gas. And then I had a busted water pipe that blew everywhere. So we're talking about like 3 different things that typically will have people moving out of a home. Like it was like complete loss of power. It wasn't because I didn't pay the bill. It was a complete loss of gas. Not because I didn't pay the bill. Like it's just all the fucking utilities were gone. And really, Schrodinger, why I like Schrodinger so much, and this is where our friendship really started developing when he was, still with us. But he reached out to me and was like, I'll put you up in a hotel. I've got extra hotel nights. You and your son, y'all don't need to be sleeping in that cold ass house. Why don't you go ahead and get a hotel room? And I didn't take it, but I was like, man, that's cool of you, man. Like, that's a real fucking brother right there. I appreciate it. And so BSBT was on Kate's channel. Kate wasn't there that night. It was a few of the guys were there, and BSBT joined. And he started saying that, they were criticizing us for calling out him in his situation or somebody in their situation when the same thing happened to me and our whole community was on my side. And I was like, hold on. It was about child neglect. That's what it was. They were talking about the child neglect that was going on with his situation. And then he was trying to say it was when the storm happened, it was child neglect on my end. not realizing that my kid was fucking 20 years old at the time. And I never stopped providing a home for him. It was maintenance that fucked up the home due to a winter storm. Like, I didn't get evicted like he did. And this was like, so fuck that guy. If there's anybody that deserves to be porn bombed, it's him. Go eat a fucking corn on the cob. And then show us the design that comes off afterwards. We'd love to see it. Those of you that know, you know. Alright. Oh, wow, okay. SBO for $4.99. Unclean hand needs cancer treatment. I did not know that you were suffering from the big C. That sucks, brother. And I'll be in touch. Crazy for a driver, or for the river. Crazy for the river. $10. Hello from River in SoCal. Is that Riverside? I used to live in Ridgecrest, California. Not too far from Riverside, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Cat in Virginia, $1.99. Just be yourself. We love you. I love you back, baby. Thank you very much. Mark rules for $5. Don't be so modest. It does you credit, Skeptic. Thank you. Typically, well, for those of you that are new, you should know that I am the most modest person in the world. But yes, and Nick or Mark, that was your first super chat here, brother. Thank you so much. Coming from the most modest person you'll ever meet, I do appreciate your support. It means a lot, and I couldn't be so great without it. I'll try to work on not being so modest in the future. For now, you're gonna get this. I describe it as excellent modesty that comes from me. Truly, you'll see people that are slightly as modest as I am, but hardly ever. Like, I'm like up here when it comes to modesty. You guys, look, those of you that are modest out there, y'all are down here. My modesty is up here. Way better than y'all. Way better. Mark, I love you, man. Thank you. Sassy P, $100. More money for the kitty. Thank you, Sassy. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. Hank Perry for $5. Like the doctor I went to, he had a price list on the wall for pills, medical marijuana. Let's see, doctor's notes, and my cat's rule. Mine are spoiled too. Yes, my cats are so spoiled. Thank you guys for all that, all the support. But yeah, I do love my cat. She's amazing. Paul Rumor Frazier for the big cat. I just said it earlier. Shout out to Schrodinger's cat. Still one of the people that I looked up to get me to where I'm at today. We're about to cross 100K, guys. About to cross 100,000 subscribers. I can't wait. Oh, and then I can't wait to talk shit about Chili. Hey, Chili, you want to rewind the tapes a bit? I saw this on Oleg Welch's channel. Great channel. I love watching Oleg Welch. Oleg Welch put up a video that it was like, Chili's complaining that he's not getting his play button. And he goes and it shows a clip of Chili and he's like, yeah, YouTube's against me right now. YouTube's against me and holding back for certain reasons. No, they're not. They're not against you. Okay? The people that give you the play button, the people that give you the check mark, they have no idea that you have a case against them. That's their legal department. That's an independent department of Google that verifies that you're eligible for a check mark. Let me go over a few reasons why you wouldn't get your check mark, Chili. Multiple TOS violations, that's one. Meaning you not only got a warning, but you also got a second one while having a warning. Purchasing subs. Good job, Chili. Great possibility, that's true. Also, I want to tell you guys something. No, chat, all you fucking anti-Chili people out there, put a 1 in the chat if you're anti-Chili. I'm putting the 1. I lead the charge. Always. I'm leading the charge. Y'all are on my squad. Let's go. Put a 1 if you're on that I hate Chili team. Because guess what? Every time he's blocked you, alright? Every time he's blocked you and forced you as a troll, right? You, to participate in his chat, had to go do what? Create a sock account. And you went and created 100 sock accounts, you sly little bastard troll. And you know what you fucking may have inadvertently done? Gave Chili a whole bunch of fake subs on accident. And that may be the reason he can't get his check mark. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you should pat yourself on the back at the same fucking time. Fuck that guy. He don't deserve a fucking check mark. He deserves to fucking lick my butthole. Sorry. Unclean Hands has face cancer. It comes from Greg Jonick from member 2 months. Man, I'll be in touch. Actually, reach out to me, Unclean, so I see it in my email. Reach out to me so I can chat with you. And then, oh no, the message was retracted. Metal Demon, $11.75 for $20, retracted his message. Metal Demon, type it now and tag me, and I'll read it off. Matthew Miller for $5. Rip to the great Schrodinger's cat. I found your channel through his, and the rest is history. He's a good man. All right. We'll wait till Metal Demon types his message, or any message that you want to send, Metal, and I will get out of here, take a couple of hours break, and then we'll come back later tonight, and we'll do Tequila Karen. He's still in first place. When does the Grifty Awards end? That shit's a scam, y'all. The Grifties are a scam. Because I've seen, like, we outvoted everybody, and then somebody will just skyrocket out of nowhere. And I'm like, we've been voting on this shit for 6 months. How does somebody fucking come in and do one little fucking, just get nominated today, and they're in third place tomorrow? Shit's a scam. Delete balls from Zorkmaster. Alright, if I don't see a message from Metal, I'm gonna step away, Metal. But hey guys, straight up, as I get ready to get out of here and hopefully not fall down as I lean my chair back, we're gonna do it today anyway. Yeah, Metal Demon, it says it was retracted. It says message retracted. So I don't know. You know what? It could have been YouTube. YouTube could have deleted your message. So just tag me real quick, Metal Demon. I'm going to say my goodbyes right now. So tag me, Metal Demon, and I'll read out the super chat you left, and we'll get out of here. Or anything that you tag me with, I'll read it out word for word. Almost no restriction. I hate saying stuff like that because you guys are fucking smart and creative and fucked up at the same time, and y'all will have me saying some shit. So anyway, want to say thank you guys for coming out today. Had a great time. This video will be edited down to take out the amazing muted parts that I did. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. I'm also going to cut off the super chat part at the end, so that way we could, we can listen to the whole thing as its own video. But I do want to say thank you. I do want to say thank you to all you guys out there. This was fun. I had a good time. And like I said, I don't see this method of me finding new content ever slowing me down. Like, it's only going to make stuff like this, like little short 1 hour and 2 hour long streams where we can come together, kind of sit back, laugh at some stupid, talk about the law. I don't mind talking about the law. Everybody here knows I don't just go, judge right, prosecutor right, yay. I don't do that shit. What I do is I tell you, take the fucking lawyer. Remember, I have a fucking video. We'll probably play both videos tonight. I have a video where taking the lawyer fucking works. Just do it. Anyway, that's always been my position, and watching stupid people be stupid in court, that's just beautiful. So anyway, how do I fix that? I don't know. Metal Demon, I don't know what happened. But if you just type the message you want, I will read it as if it was still attached to the super chat, brother. All right. So yes, I had a good time. I'll give Metal Chat about 30, 45 seconds. While Metal Chat types that message, everybody else types something for me to read, and I'll read it to you. This will encourage Metal to leave his own message out there for me to read. Is Cyrax still in jail? No, Cyrax bonded out. Hey, I'll talk about Cyrax for a second, for a moment, while we wait for Metal. A lot of people don't realize this. Do y'all know who, like, the original Cyrax killer is? The original one, the OG. Does anybody know who that was? Put it in the chat if you do. Put it in the chat. Because I found out about Cyrax like almost a year ago now. And I found out about him because people that watch this creator's channel also watch Cyrax. And since I watched this creator's channel, it naturally started mentioning Cyrax to me. Alright, let's see. Are you back before or after Shiz? Ooh, good point. Good point. I'll try to come before. If not, oh, that sounds weird. I'll try to go on before. If not, we'll do it either 1 or 2 tomorrow. Maybe I'll do the Tequila Karen tomorrow at noon and a chili stream tomorrow night. But, ooh. Kate. Yep. That's who it was. No. Metal Demon, it didn't cancel the donation, brother. It just canceled the message that was tied to the donation. So anyway, yes, Kate was the original, like, guys, listen, go watch Cyrax. Old Cyraxes, and he's constantly, that bitch, Masshole Troll Mafia, like always, even to this day, calls her a bitch, calls her a slut, calls her a pedo, calls her everything under the sun. Calls her everything. And it's because she's the OG. She's the one that really shit on Cyrax, that exposed him as a child predator. It really did. And to this day, he calls her a predator for exposing him as a predator. Yeah. There's a whole story behind that. There's so much more to that. So it's funny that I'm seeing these other creators that are coming out and finally catching on to the racks first, and seeing them, and they're like, they just don't ever pay acknowledgement to Kate, I guess. They don't ever say, hey, Kate's the one that did this to him. Kate shit all over him for fucking a year. Maybe even, I think like 3 years, 2 or 3 years she's been shitting on him. He's only really just becoming popular in our community, if you didn't already know about Kate's interaction with it. Or with him. Might as well say with it. But yeah, so Cyrax is a couple of good things. If y'all wanna see why Cyrax has become interesting lately, go watch the Cyrax Fights Marty. Okay, I saw that live on Marty's stream. It was so fucking classic. I was part of like the 2,000 people that got to see it. So go watch that. That's the first one, the Cyrax fighting Marty. And then also go watch the latest one, which is Cyrax attacking a protester on his sidewalk. So there was a protester on the sidewalk. Cyrax didn't like the fact that he was holding up a sign that says that a child predator lives here. It's his First Amendment right. He can do that. Don't be a fucking child predator, Cyrax. That's how simple that is. I don't have to worry about people putting that up on my lawn because I don't go after children. I like people my own age. It's not that hard. I mean, I guess it is hard for Cyrax. He literally, like, the way his face is shaped like a fucking grapefruit scooper. Like, he looks like he could just take a grapefruit and just go, and like, when he does that, there'll be a perfect wedge down the rind of the grapefruit, and it will, like, he'll just, like, scrape with his teeth all the, like, grapefruit fruit part into his mouth. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Now, because we're talking about the racks, I want to also make it clear that I am somewhat a King Cobra JFS, King Cobra JFS fan. I like King Cobra, man. The guy's weird. Weird people don't bother me. Cyrax is weird, but he's a fucking child predator. That shit bothers me. King Cobra JFS, that dude's fucking weird as shit, but he's funny. He's funny as fuck to watch. You gotta like disgusting shit, but like, he makes his own food, and it's the shit that he makes is crazy. Does stupid stuff. Does it all on camera. I'm gonna tell you some funny shit, man. I'm gonna tell you why I like watching this guy. Okay. He has some trolls. I would be considered one of the friendly trolls of his. even though I've never trolled him, if I was to troll him, I would do it in a friendly way. But there's trolls, because the trolls will buy him goods and send it to his house. So he benefits from them trolling him. He's very self-aware. So I don't consider him a lolcow because he's self-aware and he's just a little autistic, he's just a little autistic. And that's by his words, not mine. So calm down there. SJWs, whoever's going to complain about me saying that. He, by his own definition, he's like, why are you picking on the autistic kid? Like, I think he really has autism. It's okay. Anyway, if I was to troll him, I'd troll him in a positive manner. But there's some people, they'll buy him, like they bought him a sandwich from Subway, and they were like, hold it. Let's say they ordered him a BLT, okay, bacon, lettuce, tomatoes. Here's how the order would come in. BLT, hold the bacon, hold the lettuce, hold the tomatoes, extra sriracha sauce, extra ranch sauce, extra mustard, extra ketchup, extra olive oil, 3 times cilantro or oregano. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll order him a sandwich like that. It's fucked up. That part's fucked up. But he'll take that sandwich and eat it on camera right in front of him. And it's disgusting. And I'm so addicted to watching it. I'm addicted to watching it. And I'm a fan. Like I said, if I'd be a troll, I'd be one that was having fun. I wouldn't be like the Delete Laws trolls, which I'm also a part of, but we won't get into that. I don't want to indict myself on a RICO case. But anyway, guys, it was fun. I'm getting out of here. Let me see if there's anything. Yeah, he does. He looks 16 and 60 at the same time. Cyrex creeps me out. Yep. Whose birthday is it? Miss K, happy birthday, baby. Said, I'll try again on the next one. No, okay. Metal, I'm going to assume that what you said was, hey, Team Skeptic, great show today. We all love you out here in the chat, especially me. And can you give my mom a shout out? Because I love her too. And I'm going to say, hey, Metal something's mom. Hold on. Hey, Metal Demon Mom. You're amazing. I'm Team Skeptic. Okay, let's see. Am I going to fall? Am I going to fall? And oh God, I have this. Okay. That was less dramatic. It was like one of the, we'll do it again. It's got to feel a bit dramatic. Okay. Here we go. All right. I'm Team Skeptic. And oh God damn it. That was a bit scarier. Later.